Cheers and enjoy the beers. Yes, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world, and welcome once again back to the channel with me, Disco, coming at you with some more live beer reviews from here in front of the cans and bottles on the bar I'm still festively calling the Disco Arms. Yeah, I thought I'd stretch the old Christmas malarkey out for one more stream. Not that I really bothered or did any kind of Christmassy stuff. I'm not that bothered about it. I don't even really use the C word. I call it festive times. But yeah, I did buy a couple of beers and then I went a bit mad yesterday and bought another one just because I noticed that two of the beers that I had actually said winter ales or winter beers, which I think is it's probably better. It kind of stretches it out over 4 months rather than just a little bit of December. So there will be another stream at some point, I guess, both either next month, next weekend, next year, which is the same one and the same. With some winter beers just to stretch it out a little bit further, but there'll be no mention of the C word, well, not that much on that one. But yeah, tonight is 3 more beers that are kind of vaguely Christmassy themed because these things amuse me and I do like beers. And welcome to you all for popping in, by the way. Good evening, as always, Henry at Rain Hawks Music. Hope you're doing, having a good week, progressing slowly as it is. It can stay that way. Interesting selection tonight. Yeah, 3 different sizes as well. You tried the Delirium, so but not the Christmas ones. I'm guessing you had the blue bottle with the blue label, the Delirium Tremmens, the kind of original, I guess, and they've had 1 or 2 different ones. I think there's about 9 or 10 different ones at the moment, all under that brand. Delirium is not actually the brewery name. The brewery name is Brewery Huyghe, I think it's pronounced, in Belgium. So a second Belgian beer on the trot. I haven't had a Belgian collab yesterday. I had a rough sandy light bottle. Yes, indeed, yeah. This one's red. Yes, it has got kind of that distinct kind of sandiness on it. I'm guessing your one was kind of light blue. But yeah, an interesting beer. More about that as we get onto it later. Miscellaneous, thanks for popping in. Hope you're having a good week. It's kind of betwixtimus, kind of yes indeed, Joe. Kind of betwixt and between Christmas and the New Year, and this kind of, it's not really that weird because for me it's just a Tuesday was banging. Fair play, yeah. It's a big old beer. Yeah, more about those as I get onto them on the third one, if I remember. Don't forget to remind me why I've put this one in today. But yeah, for me, it's not particularly strange because it's a Tuesday. I'm off work today. I'm actually going into work tomorrow for a bit. And then it's back to the weekend and it's just, yeah, work as normal for me anyway. So again, I wasn't sure who was going to be about tonight, whether people are staying in out the cold and watching any YouTube or whether they're off out doing stuff because I've got to work in the morning. So different things, different strokes for different folks, I suppose. But I'm in out the cold and doing some beers because I want to get through the stash, even though I only actually put one of these beers into the stash today, so that it doesn't sit there for too long. And it is indeed a beer number 1, so which is this beer here. So yeah, so it didn't sit there too long, and it is kind of Christmassy. It is from those absolute masters of modern sour beer and some pretty decent stouts as well. Kind of 2 ends of the beer scale there. They focus pretty much primarily on sours with occasional forays into big impy stouts. They've done 1 or 2 in between, but not on a regular basis. So this one is a mince pie sour. Couldn't pick up any mince pies today. I normally go around shops at this time of year, banging up all the bargains. So I got some stolen pieces. No, I didn't get the stolen pieces. I might go back for them tomorrow. Just got some reduced price chocolates. Do you know what I mean? I like the reduced price, as you know. Mr. Wilson, good evening. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. Do let us know, all of you, if you've got a beer on the go in between my Christmas beer and madness, which is, yeah, high ABV. So it'd be like, can't remember, this Delirium Tremmens I think is 8 or 9. This one's 10. Yeah, well, you say not a session beer, but you know, I probably could. It'd be a very short session, probably 3. But I have got something lined up, and I'll tell you about it when I do that one a bit later on. Let's get on to this one from Vault City. As I say, decent can art as always. Black cans and, yeah, mince pies. I originally avoided this one on the first order from Tremble and Madness. I looked at it and I thought, I don't know why mince pie needs to be sour, really. Wasn't expecting that colour particularly. And I'm wondering if I should have read the instructions, because it looked quite gloopy going into the glass and there might have been a few bits. So, as always, yeah, so really kind of muddy purple colour there, which I suppose kind of is going towards what you'd find in a mince pie. A bit more plum pudding than pie, but the mince pie. But we'll put it there on the balance in order to get the picture, as always. So I've got a dozen of these pictures to put up on Instagram, which I may or may not do tomorrow if I get a chance. I'd like to get them done by the end of the year, but we're running out of end of the year, so I'm not sure if that's going to happen. There you go. I checked beer glass for no apparent reason, and it was clean. So quite dark, that kind of purple. It's Ribena-y coloured. That's better. So I get the focus from the off. A very small head development and dissipated. Wow, it's kind of processed into something vaguely. Whoa, nearly. Did you see that wobble? Yeah, it's kind of processed into something vaguely approaching an in focus picture. I'm not sure I like the colours it's added, but it's coming off the can, so fuck it, that will do. Otherwise, it'll be here all night. A little shake up. Well, there you go. It's got a little bit of fizz to it. Had enough early, just some water. Nothing wrong with that, fair play. I was going to go out earlier, and annoyingly, I was going to go meet my mate down the Hop and Vine, and time got away with me, and then he just sent me a picture. Yeah, they got a disco beer here. It was Disco Italiano from Verdant, which I've got a can of in, so I'm not too worried, but I might try and get down there. No, it won't be tomorrow because I'm at work. Maybe New Year's Day, or maybe just Friday, perhaps. We shall see. So a pint of Verdant. Yeah, me drinking Verdant, but I bought Verdant cans of it. You don't see me drinking too much Verdant. Mostly only if they've got a beer with disco in the name. Let's get that down there. Straighten it up a bit. You think I knew what I was doing by now. Still can't get that on the light, but there you go. Yeah, no, it's kind of, it looks more like a cider or anything like that. That kind of dark fruits kind of colour. Very, very Strongbow-esque. Strongbow dark fruits-esque. But yeah, quite thick, quite gloopy. Poured into the glass, excuse me. Let's have a little sniff. Oh, wow. That's really weird. It definitely is mince pie. It's got those kind of fruity notes. Kind of, it does feel a bit more kind of date or plum kind of notes. But there's also this kind of odd thing at the back. I'm not sure whether that's kind of, it's not nail varnish, but it's not creosote either, if you know what I mean. It's got that kind of high high sour note, but the fruitiness kind of covers it. Really interesting. What we know, Vault City like to do some random odd stuff. Yeah, I'm not sure why this needs to be sour. Could have done it as a pale ale or a porter, but they don't do that kind of thing. It's just in the extremes of their will rust. Let's get it down my neck. I'm not sure about this one, but we're going to give it a go. Cheers. Oh yeah, really odd, really thick. The viscosity on it is absolutely lovely. And yeah, I've got this Strongbow dark fruits thing in my head now, and it's like if Strongbow dark fruits was a sorbet or a, I don't know, kind of, it's kind of an ice creamy kind of note, but it's nice. It's nice. It really is. There's a bunch of other fruits in there as well. I'm not really getting raisin like I do with like a stout on amber ale, like a kind of winter ale. You've got that kind of brown sugar, rum, raisin kind of note. So for a mince pie, it's more kind of damson, date, plum, with a side of Strongbow dark fruits. It's weird. Mersey, evening all. Sorry. Question: Do you work? I work. I usually work Friday and Saturday nights. It will change a bit this month, but after this month, it kind of rotates. I don't have a fixed Friday and Saturday night, but yeah. And even if I'm not there on a Friday and Saturday night, there's a fair chance I could be. It's easy to get there from Chiswick. Yes and no. It's down the road. It's kind of Chiswick Piccadilly, like Sudbury Hill, and then just cab it round the corner or go over the hill. Obviously not that great at this time of year. Or Chiswick, just get the bus to Ealing, or Chiswick to if you nip up to get a bus up to Acton or something, or change trains somewhere and get on the Central line. It's not difficult. It requires 2 changes, but it's possible. But yeah, do let me know if you're popping up for a pint, and I'll make sure I am there whether I'm working or not. Hit the like if you would, as always. That's not me asking. That's Henry at Hawks Music asking. So do it for him, etc. And also subscribe as well if you're not. But I think everybody in at the moment is subscribed. If you're not, click the button. It's free. Mosey Beers had a mince pie and draft. All I got was grape. Yeah, maybe red grape. I can't remember. It's all the same sort of fruit family, isn't it? And what are dried grapes? Are they raisins or are they? Yeah, for me, raisin has a more kind of brown sugar, kind of rum kind of taste, as opposed to like the fruitiness of grape. What was that beer I had yesterday that had grape in it? The pale ale from the Nelson Sauvin. Not a big lover of mince pies, but I'd be open to trying a bit. Yeah, to me, I did go to the 2 supermarkets on my way round today to try and find some reduced price mince pies, because that's generally the only time I eat mince pies. I don't mind them. I have a funny relationship with raisins. Bit of love-hate. I like them in some things. Don't like them in cake. Don't mind them in mince pies, especially with a large amount of custard or ice cream. Like I say, this doesn't particularly remind me of a mince pie, because the fruit flavour is a bit out of whack for a mince pie. I mean, the term mince pie is a bit out of whack with anything anyway, and they are a bit love-hate. But I like this beer. It reminds me of, there was a fruit lolly back in the day that was like exact same colour, but it was only like, there used to be one that was cider, and there was this one which I think was like blackcurrant or blackberry, and it kind of reminds me of that. It's got that kind of softness. It's not out and out sour, massively sour particularly. It's more sort of tart fruit. For me, the fruit is wrong for a mince pie, but it's a really good flavoured beer. They could have called it anything. They could have called that summer pudding sour, and you would never have noticed. You know, you could have called it, is there blackberry in there? Maybe. A little bit blackberry and apple, maybe. You could have called it any kind of dessert pudding, and it wouldn't have mattered. In fact, there was a good chance. Call me skeptical. You know, I don't like to get mugged into this Christmas malarkey. Vault City could probably do the same beer, call it something different, maybe add a little bit more vanilla or something and call it a summer pudding or something like that. Yeah, so it's not really mince pie for me, and it doesn't shout Christmas, but it's a really nice sour. Really nice fruit flavours. There's a little bit of pastry. There probably is a bit of vanilla in it, but I can never get that. Well, hey, all booked for Moses Beers and Blue Nose. Trip to London on the last weekend of January. Woohoo! The last weekend of January. Oh no, 31st. Yeah, I should be there. I'll be there then. I'm not sure if we're doing Friday nights, but Friday nights in January are a little bit empty. Friday nights in December are a little bit empty. That said, I'll probably be there anyway, so we can sort something out if it is the Friday night. If not, yeah, I'll be there all day Saturday. That'll be lovely. Welcome along. Anybody welcome to come for a pint. I prefer to do it in the summer when it's a little bit more enjoyable. It is a little bit chilly there in January, but there you go. Yeah. Well, it's basically whenever you can, and I guess whenever Harry can, because he's quite busy otherwise as well. I don't enjoy the flavour and texture of the filling. Okay, yeah, it is quite odd. Mince pies, I guess. I haven't. I mean, I've probably had 3 or 4 mince pies. Rasko used to do a whole mince pie count and go around doing different ones of mince pie reviews. Not on the channel as such, on other his own media. And yeah, he was always like, "Oh, you should have mince pies." And I've tried 1 or 2. I tell you what, the mince pie I did have was really nice. I talked about it yesterday. I put Mad Squirrel, that tap they share with Crazy Goat Cafe. So I had a coffee and a couple of really crusty mince pies with like kind of brown sugar, kind of crumbly topping. Really, really nice. Yeah, Christmas cake. I'm definitely funny about because I'm funny about raisins in sponge. I don't like the texture of that, oddly, so I generally avoid it. Christmas cake, I can do, again, need lashings of custard just to cover it all up, really. But yeah, raisins, generally prefer eating raisins on their own. Mince pie is probably one of the few that I don't mind eating. But yeah, sponge cake and raisins, really, not really sure. I'll tell you a Christmas cake. I'll tell you a different thing I had. I've said about this before. Christmas cake with a slice of cheese is a Yorkshire thing and somehow is odd, but really, really works really well. Don't have it often, haven't bothered this year, but we shall see. Land 8:30 on the Friday. Okay, so yeah, definitely be too late. We close way before then. Yeah, there basically would be nothing there. I could stay that late. I don't think there's anything on that weekend, so yeah, that would kind of be a bit difficult for us. So probably would have to be the Saturday if you can. I can imagine the beer is good, as like you say. Yeah, exactly. There's no texture of it. There's just just some random fruits. Nicely thick-bodied, a bit oddly fizzy for such a thick-bodied beer, but it's one of many, like I say, that Vault City do have a very similar theme, but like nice sort of thickness in the mouthfeel. It's really good. Fuller's Brewery. I thought Harry was doing a Fuller's Brewery too, wasn't he? I think any of the two at the brewery definitely want to go to Colonel Tap and Southampton Arms on Saturday. Well, I'll tell you what, you can do the Perivale Brewery too. It takes approximately 37 seconds just by simply looking through the door. I should think the Fuller's one will take substantially longer. Colonel Tap and Southampton Arms. That's quite a mission. Not impossible because, come to us first at 12 o'clock for a couple of hours. Get on the overground round to Southampton Arms is doable. Bus to Willesden, bus to Wembley and get the overground, or get the Central Line. Couple of changes round to Southampton Arms, and then basically the Northern Line down to London Bridge. It's doable. It is doable. But yeah, if you're staying in Chiswick, getting to us is fairly quick, to be honest. But yeah, that'd be a good weekend. Shark, hey then, Kevin. Thanks for popping in. Hope you're having a good week. A strange bit between Christmas and the New Year. Anybody got a beer on and what you're doing for New Year's? I am sitting right here, as I said yesterday, watching the beloved Bar Steward Sons of Valdunican. I didn't wear the t-shirt. I was going to wear the t-shirt today just to promote. Yeah, lots of parody songs and stupidity and a really good pub quiz. Cheers. This is absolutely a beer I would drink again, as are many of the Vault City voluptuous sours. It's not a beer I'll probably get round to drinking again. It's not so good as to rush out and buy a load more, because I can just wander down the supermarket and get the strawberry version or the raspberry ripple version or whatever they're putting out this month. It's much the same, just a slightly different flavour profile. So when they get it right, when they get it like this, for me, it's a very drinkable, fruity sour. I love that. The thickness of that body. It's almost custard, fairly thin custard in consistency. I say grapefruit fruit flavors going on. Just going to be watching the game, having a bud. Instead of a game, it'll be YouTube live streams and another brand of beer. Well, yeah, bud. Bit of free pass. May not be drinking if I go anywhere. Okay. Hey, Paul, how you doing? Pierre Brunus, welcome along. I hope you had a good festive times and enjoying this random bit between Christmas and the New Year. Traveling a Scouse way, unregistered Oyster card and top it up on cash. Treat your TFL like relatives I don't like, give them nothing. Well, that's what I say. I thought I was the only one. I thought everybody just went round and wafted their contactless card at it. Apparently it does. Apparently they managed to do the sums and get it right. Usually, but yeah, I only use the Oyster card the few times I actually travel. I've only used the Oyster card once in 5 years. I just cycle everywhere now. Yeah. In fact, that's what I would do if I was going to Chiswick. I would cycle to Chiswick. It takes about half an hour, mostly down the canal, and then through a few back streets across the A40, mostly off-road. And on an electric bike, just get on the old line bikes. A slightly strong rye ale at 45.2%. I wonder, should whiskey rebrand itself as strong rye ale? It's mostly made the same way. Unless you are on a genuinely strong rye ale at 45%, I've not heard about, but basically on the whiskey. Yeah, just Uber it, innit? Yeah, it's actually quicker because you'd have to fuck about with changes. To be fair, it's about right. Should be about 10, 12 quid maybe, I would think, something like that. Sort of going out of town. But yeah, look forward to that in January. Yeah, so smashable, this beer. Really nice. Great fruit notes. A little bit more pastry on the lips, like buttery note on the lips. Slightly odd aroma. As I said, I can't quite place it. It's not quite clear, so definitely not nail varnish, but that kind of slightly ascetic, slightly acidy. Yeah, sure. Whiskey Woodford Reserve. Sounds like that's a good one. I know naff all about whiskey generally, but I have heard that name. Yeah, so smash this back. I was going to say cleanser palate, but it kind of is a palate cleanser, really. But those kind of custardy kind of fruit notes. Good beer. A modern sour beer. Cheers. I kind of want to get inside the glass and lick all those bits out, but I can't reach. My tongue's not long enough. So that's a good first start. A Christmas beer, sort of in name only, really. as I'm not getting a lot Christmassy from it, but plenty of good fruit notes. So, yeah, pretty good beer. Let's move swiftly on to beer number 2, please. And beer number 2, we're diving into something completely different up the other end of the scale. A little can. Brewery seems to insist on doing 330s. A brewery that you probably have never heard of unless you've been watching my stuff, because I got a couple of theirs in previously, and I went back to Red Elephant in Truro and got, oh, excuse me, I didn't even do the banner. Slipping, Mr. Wilson. There's the banner for that. 6.7%, that pastry sour. This one, however, going up the scale. No, we're not going up the scale, are we? Didn't even get the banner right. Pointless. Pointlessly change it. It was 5.7%. I knew it was going up the scale. There, just for completeness. A 5.7%. Now we're moving on to Braslou beer, 6%. Christmas pudding stout. I featured Braslou before, like I say. They're from Cornwall. Have a fair amount of 330 cans, but no web shop of their own. Like I say, I went to Red Elephant in Truro for these, and in fact, that was where I got this order in last week, where I picked up that Verdant. I know, look at me buying Verdant. What's going on? Well, it's because it's got the word disco in the name, so Disco Italiano. And my mate had a pint of that this afternoon at the local, which I might have to try and go down for in the next couple of days to have a pint, as well as the can I've got of it. Hey, Twisted Fairy, how you doing? Merry festive times to you, Rasko. Hope you've had a good week, and he's bought you loads of gifts, because I know you like to get mugged into that sort of stuff. I don't say festive times. We all have these beers for Christmas. Are there any New Year's Eve beside finishing all the Christmas beers? Yeah, no. I suppose what I have got, which I brought in as part of kind of what I thought I was going to do as Christmas beer series, I have now got 3 beers that all say winter in them. So winter ales, which I know kind of spans about 3 or 4 months. So next week, next year, next month, which is one and the same at some point, if I do it next week, I'll have 3 winter beers, which is the best I can do for New Year's Eve beers. I can't think necessarily how that will go. Paul says, Mrs. and I are heading out soon for a few drinks and dinner. Superb. Enjoy. Have a good one. Treats. I've had 2 Braslou beers. Blood Red Ale and the Saffron Lager was the one that I had, yeah. That's good. I knew if anybody was going to know about them, you was. But, yeah, really tiny Cornish brewery. Some guy, really interesting thing. He went to France and started a brewery in France, and I don't know whether that didn't work out or not, but he came back and somehow established himself in Cornwall. But the guy's name's like Russell, so he's not even French, I don't think. Does some interesting stuff on Instagram on the reels. A little bit of a showman, a little bit of a entertainer. Always find his stuff kind of funny, but yeah, it's kind of an interesting one. So let's get this into a glass anyway. That Saffron Lager was interesting. It was kind of like slightly sort of savoury, really. Which just kind of amplifies that kind of Pilsner, kind of SARS hopped note. I think it was SARS hopped, actually. But yeah, Christmas pudding stout. A little bit thin there, but that's not necessarily a problem. Reasonable head development. Put it into a bowl-shaped glass, because I like to with the slightly bigger stouts. Any stouts, really. So 330 cans, I put it in a smaller glass. I'm actually going to go that side, because the lighting is slightly better. There you go. It's on. Do bear me a second whilst I take the photo. I do like this. Oh yeah, it's nice. Just realised I picked 2 Czech style glasses. The other one was called Permon. I was going to say persimmon. I knew that was wrong, because somebody sent me a very disgusting joke about persimmons yesterday. I seem to have persimmon on the mind. But yeah, no, this one is a Pivovar Vic. Fantastic craft Czech brewery that probably nobody else has heard of unless you're listening to my streams at any point. Let's see what's happened with that one, whether that's worked. Process. No, that's terrible. It was absolutely perfectly in thing as soon as I pressed it, and then it wobbled a bit. See how shaky my hands are on it. Not quite Parkinson's yet, but fuck. Do bear with. The technology wakes itself up again. Sorry, let's see if that one actually got into focus or not. There we are about in post. So yeah, so quite thin, which I always say about stouts doesn't really matter as long as the flavour's there. Quite bubbly on that head development. I don't think there'll be a lot of head retention either. Ooh. I was just talking about festive periods yesterday. Oh no, that was in a much later show. So, well, after the watershed, I have a different definition of festive period. Got Xmas, yeah, happy festivities. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you as always. Yeah, I think, yeah, 2025 hasn't been bad, but there's been one or two notable, love this. I like the can balances. I don't know. Am I showing off or is it a bit of entertainment, a bit of showmanship, as I was talking about Braslou? But yeah, yeah, it's better 2026. No matter how good 2025 was for you, hope everybody has a great 2026, of course. We can't balance bottles. I got to work on bottle balances. I don't even know if it's possible. I'm not smart enough to do like the maths and the calculations of the trajectories and the amount in there. But there's nothing to balance them on. There's nothing to balance bottles on unless you've got a rim on a bottle. I don't know how that would work. So anyway, yeah, about the beer. Right, 6% Christmas pudding stout. As much as I enjoyed that last beer, stouts are much more in my kind of wheelhouse kind of thing. We did a Christmas pudding stout last year. Put a cask away in the cellar, such as what we have, and brought it out. Put it on a hand pull this year. So all those flavors developed over the year. So that was. I have had a Christmas pudding stout this year. So this one again, I liked all the other Braslou beers. So let's see what we get with this one. Much more raisiny notes for sure than Vault City. A little bit of sweetness, a little bit of yeah, Xmas pudding. As we discussed earlier, not everybody's favourite kind of thing. I find them a bit. Yeah, I'm a bit of a thing with raisins. I don't like them in kind of cakey puddings that much. In pastry, I can just about manage oddly. But I am a bit odd, I suppose. Yeah, nose is blocking up now in the cold. Cheers. Happy damn Christmas pudding. Yeah, so it's going to be difficult coming off to Vault City for talking about mouthfeel and how thick the beer is, because this is kind of thin. 26. 26 a World Cup, it has to be better. Well, Trump, if he lasts that long, let's hope, will get booed and people will laugh. Yeah, I can't help thinking that it's going to be like a kind of North Korea situation where he's going to start paying people to attend and cheer just to drown out the booze. But yeah, let's talk about the booze, not the booze. Let's not go into politics. But yeah, World Cup, long way off. Got to get through the end of this year yet. Not a fan. No worries. Not a lot of Christmas pudding, I imagine. Well, it definitely works well in a stout because you've got those raisiny notes, kind of brown sugary, kind of. Don't know, bit of spices maybe. Not too much in this one. It's certainly a decent stout base with plenty of darker malt in there. Yeah, it might have been difficult. It's always difficult going from sour to stout. It's a little thin, but it's a solid stout. I do generally prefer stouts to be a bit thicker. Not because I'm some kind of Guinness aficionado and I want everything to have the consistency of a Guinness. I just think it smooths over those kind of flavours, which I like anyway, but it just makes it more balanced and more rounded if it's a thicker, smoother, preferably for me, plenty of oats to get that smooth mouthfeel. Potentially lactose for a milk stout gives it an additional smoothness. Like I say, it doesn't have to be. Don't have to have a thick and voluptuous stout. Stouts can be thin. Purely what makes it a stout is the darker malts that go into it, by and large. I never looked at the ingredients list of that one. I say it only arrived today, so I'm not looking at the date. It'll be like next year. Fucking hell, next year. 18th of the 11th, 2027 for the mince pie. That's a hell of a thing, isn't it? Right, sorry, yeah, ingredients. Apart from all the right, okay. Oh, hello, what? Yeah, this is one of the. This is a summer pudding rebadged, I tell you, right? So the ingredients in a mince pie sour, and it's got ingredients list of blackberry, pear, and strawberry. Hence the strong cider vibes. It has got lactose and cinnamon and hops. It doesn't say what the hops are. I can't imagine there's a lot though. But yeah, blackberry, pear, and strawberry in a mince pie stout. Like, have I got it wrong? Are like raisins not in mince pies? Is that not what mince pies are? Where are strawberries? The pear. I can see the pear. That's why I say that kind of slight cidery note, that kind of slight Strongbow dark fruits note. But pear kind of, because that provides the pectin, like the solidifying agent, as does apple. But strawberry and blackberry, that's basically a summer pudding rebadged, I think. Really weird. Really weird. Hey, hi Joey, how you doing, man? Get through to the end of the year, only 26 hours left. I know, but it could be a long 26 hours. But yeah, do you know what? It's because it is that slight betwixtmas befuddle. Because I think the end of the year is the weekend, because I'm getting through to the weekend. And it's not. And I had this like by not getting as many streams sort of sorted out as I wanted to this week. I was thinking I had all week, and I haven't. I've got till tomorrow. You're right. Yeah, but I'm not good at numbers and maths and stuff, as I explained earlier. Disco. Yeah, Joe, how you doing? So you all right? In a mine pie. Yeah, in a mince pie. Yeah, strawberries and pears in a mince pie and blackberries. Yeah, not sure about that one, but it's still a jolly good beer. Raisins and maybe, yeah, sometimes cherries. Yeah, definitely not really. I mean, I don't see why not. You can put any fruits in it, really, but the mince bit of it surely is raisins. So to not actually have any raisins in it, like, I mean, they do say it's a modern sour beer, so it's so modern it doesn't actually have any of the ingredients in, and therefore doesn't taste like what it's explaining, what its descriptor is. So that's really weird. Not terrible, absolutely lovely beer, but I swear it's a summer pudding beer rebadged. I don't know if they did a summer pudding beer. They must have done. I'm sure they've put strawberries, pears, and what do we say? Strawberries, pears, and what? blackberries. I'm sure they put that together. It's a summer pudding stout. But there you go. Yeah, I can see cherries. You get glacier, like frosted cherries or whatever. Probably like orange pieces sometimes, maybe. Orange and lemon paste. You get citrus peel. That candied peel can probably sometimes go in that, or that might be a different one. But yeah, not strawberries. What's this Christmassy about strawberries? It's a summer fruit. Anyway, what do I know? What do I know? But yeah, basically a summer fruit. Anyway, yeah, it was a really good beer. This one's a really nice beer, really nice stout. Maybe a little bit of cinnamon floating through now. It's quite light on the raisiny notes. Let's have a look in a minute, see if what's in there. But even in a Christmas pudding, you'd have candied peel and stuff like that, wouldn't you? So let's have a look, see what they got to say. 28th of August, 2026, it says. Some Christmas puddings were harmed in the making of this beer. I'm not proud of this, but I believe it's important, The beer is going to blow your titting mind. Merry Christmas, one and all. Sorry, Russell, it doesn't blow my mind. It's perfectly decent stout, but it's not mind-blowing. No, okay, you're right, yeah. Ingredients: water, barley, Christmas pudding, hops and yeast. So they actually put some Christmas puddings in there. I would have thought they would have to list the ingredients of the Christmas pudding if there's a large amount of it. Maybe they just lobbed one Christmas pudding in. So the flavour certainly reflects that. But yeah, it's a jolly good stout. Yeah. Bit of dark malts, chocolate malts, black malt probably. It is a little bit thin. There's a little bit of kind of dark fruit note in there as well. Yeah, there is probably a little bit of kind of cinnamony sort of notes and a little bit of brown sugary notes, a little bit of raisin notes. So maybe that's just coming through however many Christmas puddings they actually put in there. But it's much closer to the flavours than the Vault City one. The infamous Braslou beer. Born in a barn in central France, exactly like Jesus, Braslou beer reigned for a short time as the finest brewery in western Braslou. Population 334. Now, the brewery that brought you offensive slogans, wildly inconsistent beers, both the highs and lows of which have yet to be equaled, and just a generally disappointing attitude has landed in North Cornwall like a crashed bird. And we are making beer here, and nobody really understands why. And yet here we are. Find out more about Braslou beer by reading our books. A Beer in the Loire and Trouble Brewing in the Loire, both shortlisted for the Fortnum & Mason Book and Drinks Awards. So he likes a little bit of humour in his write-ups. Okay, I'm off to watch the new Fallout episodes with Rasko. Enjoy the rest of your beers and night. Yeah, and Happy New Year. Days before. I've hit the like. Superb. Thank you so much indeed, Twisted. Have a great evening. If this is my have a great New Year's and roll kicking and screaming into 2026 with your usual style and panache. And have a good one. Cheers. Yeah, Henry said it more succinctly. Yeah, so yeah, a little bit. I think we looked at the website last time, and it was more of the same of that kind of irreverent kind of self-depreciating humour, and no web shop. But yeah, the beer's good. Pretty solid stout. Like I say, I got it from what I sort of imagined to be the Trembling Madness of the West Country, because didn't really get much beers out of the West Country scene, and they still don't do any Devon beers, but they do have an interesting focus on Cornwall. But they do get a lot of Verdant there. Like I say, that's where I got the Italo Disco from, and quite a lot of other West Country beers all the way up to like Bristol. So they are the sort of Trembling Madness of the West Country. They do have a few London beers as well. I feel a bit awkward getting beers from London from anywhere else other than London due to the distance travelled. But I'm more than happy to go and get a bunch of Cornish beers. Prices weren't too bad as far as I know, as far as I can think. Here's what is, I don't know. Oh, is that the Fallout thing? I don't even know what Fallout is, to be honest. Oh, I see. No, the fireworks. We should get down to the fireworks in London. Yeah, I've no desire to go into central London at the moment, especially not with hundreds of thousands of people there. I don't own a TV, so I can't watch the fireworks, but I imagine they were pretty similar to the fireworks in November. I know what fireworks look like. I'm a grump, and I know I'm a miserable grump at this time of year, but if you enjoy your fireworks, enjoy the fireworks. Yeah, I did get accused of being grumpy the other day. And I'm not. I like people having a good time. I just choose to have my good time in different ways. Mostly by drinking beer. You know, I'm not against other people having a good time, for sure. Right. Yeah, a little bit of chocolate there coming through now. But yeah, good kind of low level Christmas cake, kind of Christmas pudding kind of vibe going on. Not a smasher, but definitely one you can just sort of sip. It's a kind of dessert beer. It's a kind of after dinner kind of beer. You have your Christmas pudding and a bit of custard, and then follow it up with one of those. It'd be perfectly solid, to be honest with you. Would I rush out and get it again? Maybe next year I might try it again, see how it differs. I don't think I would necessarily put a can aside and try it next year because it is quite light, quite thin, so I'm not sure it would kind of develop any particularly. I mean, ours was 7%, and that developed in the cask, but we didn't keep any cans over. So, but yeah, nice beer, really nice beer. Yeah, a lot more chocolate coming through there now, a little bit. And maybe as it warms up a little bit, maybe I'll set that aside and see how it goes after the Delirium. Ooh. See how it warms up a little bit, and we'll go on to the Delirium, which is 10%. So let's go with beer number 3, please. And beer number 3, as we've already talked about, is the probably fairly recognisable Belgian brewery. Not Delirium. That's not the name of the brewery on it. They started putting stuff out under Delirium Brewery just because it's easier than saying Brewery Huyghe. Brewery Huyghe. Not quite sure how you meant to pronounce it, but I pronounce it Brewery Huyghe. That's apparently how you spell it down there. Brewerij. Brewerij. I think it's Brewerij. Is obviously the Belgian for brewery. And Huyghe is, I don't know what that means. Maybe it means elephant because they always have an elephant on the thing. Can't see in the light there. And the elephant is obviously wearing a Santa hat because it's Christmas, isn't it? Well, it was. Let's get it opened up and see what we get. The red foil top for this one, as I guess is appropriate for Christmas. And there we go. Comes off fairly easily. Getting the big bowl out for this one as well. At least I washed it. So yeah, nice dark brown kind of ale. I struggled really to find a descriptor for it, but I've just gone with Belgian strong ale because it's sort of neither dark ale nor a brown ale, but a kind of dark amber. But at 10%, I think strong dark ale kind of covers it. It's perfectly acceptable, I think, on a Belgian beer to have that kind of big frothy head, certainly in the bowl glass. So, oh, my nose. Sorry about the sniff. It's terrible of me. It's actually in focus. First time out. So, despite like Huyghe or Delirium being in fairly easy supply in this country, it's normally Delirium Tremmens that you find in supermarkets. But being a high ABV beer, it kind of sits there quite easily and is usually pretty decent. Every now and again, they sort of bring another one out because they sort of shot themselves into a little bit of a corner, I think, with Delirium Tremmens. That's their main beer, and it's so successful and so popular, you very rarely see anything else. But I do believe they've got 6 or 7 different variants. I'll have a look on the website in a minute. All of which I think you can get over here. And I think I've only had 4 or 5. I have got 3 others in the stash, and I was going to do like a whole Delirium stream where I try them all, but some of them probably a couple of years old. But again, at that ABV 8 to 10, they're going to develop and probably be okay. I've got 2 cans of Delirium Nocturnum, I think, the old Beer 52 ones. Somehow, how they managed to get an 8.5% into a Beer 52 can, into a 330 can for Beer 52 even, but they did. So I've got 3 other Delirium beers to try. So at some point in the new year, because I need to get that done, I will just try them all 3 side by side. One of which will be a side by side of the can and bottle of, there's Nocturnum and there's Argentium, I think. I was going to put this one in that and maybe do it this week, but obviously ran out of time, and I wanted to put this in with the Christmas beers because it's just because of the name Delirium Christmas. So do bear with me a second. I want to have a good. I sort of I might have shot myself in the foot a little bit by going the stout beforehand next to the sour, because I think I'm forgetting this wasn't as dark as I thought it was, and I think I like to go up the darkness scale, so that would have been better probably after the sour, because those notes would have come through better, and then the stout at the end. But I sort of, I did it like that. I don't know. I just didn't think properly, but never matter. No matter. Like I said, I've got that stout afterwards. That's why I've set a little bit aside to see how those flavours come out afterwards. Really. So head is dissipated, but still big fluffy head retention there. Nice and bubbly, but fluffy, and some good, what looks like good lacing. So cheers. Oh. Yeah, I think Henry earlier said banging. It is. It does go, since we're talking about Ryan, it does go a little bit kind of red ale. I suppose the packaging is not bad. There's a little bit of roughness on the edge. It is a properly smooth beer, but there's a little bit of that kind of, and it's not quite brown sugar roughness. It is more of a kind of rye bread kind of roughness. I need to go say chips and peas. I was going to do a salad and Chicago town pizza. Fair play. I mean, to me that sounds great, to be honest. But yeah, steak, chips and peas. Get on. Solid bit of food at this time of night. Cool. Cheers, man. Yeah, a fair amount of kind of gentle spice notes there. It feels like maybe it's kind of carried through from the other. But yeah, sure. Easy as, mate. Easy as. Cheers. I say I never take the piss out of anybody's food or drink choices, really. I'd eat that. It's cool. Yeah, so some gentle kind of spice notes going on in the background. It feels more like sort of clove, star anise, mace, maybe, than cinnamon. that you might expect in Christmas. But it's got them slightly more, what's the word? Slightly more savoury kind of spice notes. Feels like a bit of clove, which I'm not usually good with clove. Don't really like cloves. Sammy, how you doing, sir? Cheers, all right. Whatever day or time of the week it is where you are. We're having a good midweek, and well, I guess it's New Year's Eve for you, isn't it? So nearly next year, or years. We're covered enough from last night's festivities and celebrations, and you have some good celebrations there yourself, sir. Um, I'm just banging these Christmas beers in just to get them out of the way before we think about next year's beers. Still got too many of this year's beers to do, but yeah, I'm doing it. I'm doing it Sammy style by just bashing 3 beers out, just to get through them, really. And it's not just to get through them; it's because I actually want to try these beers. I bought them all because I'm intrigued by them, or for any other random reason, really. But yeah, cheers, Sammy. Yeah, nice bit of Delirium. Get these out and about all over the place, I think. Time flies once you get older, another year done. True that, brother. True that. I'm definitely feeling that right at the moment because I'm feeling older and stuff like that. And yeah, I do think that at the end of the year, I get to the end of the year and you're meant to, like, take stock, look back, and think about all the good things. But I often tend to think about all the things I haven't done because, like, all the things I meant to do this year and I've not got round to it because time flies. I more so than ever this year, I'm always looking forward to getting to the weekend. When I used to work Monday to Friday, it was looking forward to getting to Friday. Now I'm getting to Friday because I'm working Friday, Saturday, and or Sunday, or any combination thereof. Sometimes all of them. So my weekend ain't a weekend anymore. My weekend's Monday and Tuesday. So I sort of, if I don't get my stuff done Monday and Tuesday, which I should do, because nobody else is doing anything, I run out of time during the week. So I get to the end of the week and it's like work, So I get to the end of the year this year now and gone, I haven't done any of the things, well, half the things I wanted to do, the places I want to go. I've mostly done the beers I want to drink. I can't complain. Do you know what I mean? It's not been a terrible year up until this month, certainly at work. This month has been a bit all over the place. And I was going to do loads of stuff. Let's plan for next year. And all this time I had off this week and just haven't done it, really. I'm no further forward. I'm only slightly further back, but yeah, no further forwards. Yeah, I don't think next year will go slower because the last few years have just got faster and faster. It seems to be. I was just thinking about this time last year, where I was and where I'm at, and I'm doing okay. But yeah, probably crack a beer 40. Going to do more of a day drink, hanging at home on and off YouTube. Fair play to get through to midnight. A few reviews. I'll get onto that and have a look because it won't be much longer here, to be fair. Skip the best and worst of stuff. Oh, right. Yeah. So sort of in the middle, really. Things can only get better. That's why I don't sing ever, because I can't sing in tune for toffee. Maybe my singing will get better. Yeah, it's slow as it never goes slow. It just feels like it slow or fast. But like I say, it's just about getting to the end of the week for the most part. Unless I won tonight's lottery and everything's groovy, baby. Boom. For the singing. A lovely beer, really nice. Kind of dark amber, almost red ale. So it's got those kind of rough rye notes around the edges. But it's really drinkable, really nice sweetness, really nice kind of malt forward kind of outer edges. A little bit of fruitiness, that not quite raisin. I think it'll all be in Belgian, so it won't be necessarily produced by Prodotto da Gaiato. Then it says Brewery Huyghe in Belgium. Triple fermentation. Wow. So triple fermentation ale. You homebrewers, Shark, will be able to tell you more about that. It's where you put some of the liquor back into another mash, and then they do that the third time as well. Supposedly get the flavors. I'm not sure necessarily it's entirely necessary, but then obviously you get more sugars extracted to get the higher ABV. I don't know enough about the science of double and triple fermentation. Did we ever? Oh yeah, the Belgian one yesterday was double mash. Is triple fermentation the same as triple mash? So they do put something. There's a lot of Greek on there, I think. Beer brewed carefully to be consumed with care. Like, don't smash it back. Best before, as with all of the brewery beers tonight, 13th of August 2028. Again, it's only because I got this one recently. I think the other Delirium beers will probably have a much shorter date on that. That's why I need to get onto them and do that stream of the 3 different Delirium beers that I've got in. Beer Belga doppio molto. It's the Italian. Oh, here. Water, barley, malts, hop, yeast. Yeah, it's just the 4 ingredients. Be interesting to know what that malt bill is. I guess homebrewers might know. I'm sure somebody's tried to do a clone of that. They're not quite distilled. Good question. I haven't heard too much about multiple fermentation. So triple fermentation is different to triple mash. So does that mean you take it out of the tank? Do you boil it again and then add more yeast to ferment it again? Twice? That sounds like a lot of work, and therefore quite a lot of man hours, and therefore quite expensive. So how? Oh, maybe it's just this one. Is Delirium Tremmens? I doubt that's triple fermented to get into supermarket shelves at a reasonable price. Can't remember what price I paid for this. I kind of stopped looking at prices. It was definitely under a tenner. I think it was probably £6 or £7. I don't tend to worry too much, but also I don't tend to buy that many beers over a tenner unless they're specific beers. I have done with disco beers, have done with certain other beers. So look, okay, so the Christmas pudding stout was £4. I know that was about 6 or 7, and the oh no, where did I get this from then? I thought I got this from. No, clearly not. Don't know where I got this from then. Must have been Trembling Madness. Oh yeah, here we go, Trembling Madness. Oh, okay. They describe it as a Christmas winter ale. There's no hint of winter ale on there, I don't think. No, they don't really describe it as anything particularly. It's just Delirium Christmas. So, yeah. £4.10 from Trembling Madness, which for a 10% ale, even in a 330, is pretty good value, seeing as that Braslou beer is £4 at 6%. A 330 bottle at £4, £4.10 is pretty amazing, especially if we're talking about all that work, like we say, to get triple fermented. Or is it, do they mean triple mash? To me, you keep adding. Oh, right. So yeah. So just at various stages of fermentation, you just add a bit more yeast to keep it going. I see. Fair enough. I guess then you don't have to move it. You just keep adding more yeast on top. So we ferment whatever residual sugars are actually left in it. AI came up with interesting answers. I'm not sure about AI, to be honest. I have used it recently, and I'm like, wow, all right. I haven't used it for beer reviews yet as such. I did use it in the quiz preparation the other day. Third fermentation is bottle condition. I suppose technically it is, isn't it? If there's some conditioning in the bottle that because sometimes you put yeast in the tank and then bottle it, so that there is still some residual yeast going on, which is the essence of real ale. So yeah, that would make sense as well, I suppose. I mean, I suppose yeast isn't necessarily that expensive, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't geek out too much on the science of it, but that's an interesting conundrum as to what triple fermentation actually means, and they might have different versions of it. I'm not going to look that up, to be honest. I'll have to think about it more. You guys know more about that than me, I think. Contemplating a 19% fortified whiskey barrel-aged impy stout, but it not be the right day. Well, I should imagine at 12 o'clock, if you get to 11:59, that's probably the right one to crack open at that time, but maybe not right out the blocks, probably. One and done on a cold night. Yeah, but if you've been drinking all day, yeah. I mean, yesterday I was what 12.4% yesterday, and that was the 7th beer of the day. So, but that was only a 330. It was really nice. It wasn't barrel aged or anything, but that was double mash. That was. However they've arrived at those fermentation stages, I think we probably agree. A very decent beer in the glass, lots of decent lacing, fantastic head retention, really nice kind of coppery kind of brown colour. But normally when you get that coppery brown colour in, say, an amber ale or a pale ale, it kind of ends up being a little bit rough, a little bit toffee penny, a little bit coppery flavoured. None of that really in here at all. And that raisin note can sometimes go a bit kind of toffee, caramel, copper. But being that obviously Delirium Tremmens brewed this in such amounts to get that consistency across the range, they obviously know what they're doing and bringing out a decent beer, to be fair. That's what I was going to do. Let's see if those slight raisiny brown sugar, kind of slight brioche kind of bready notes, bring out anything in the stout. No, but they do go pretty well together, to be fair. I don't want to say Delirium's a much better beer. It's just obviously a different kind of style, a different type, but it's a decent stout. Got nice flavours, as has this, really. Got a collection of 4 Pilsners, local farm brewery. An ideal starter for a good sesh. Yes, indeed. I'd be kind of interested in being a farm brewery myself, or working at a farm brewery on a sort of farm where we use a lot of products. We put stinging nettles into our Pilsner just as a ubiquitous using local produce kind of farm style thing, but it is a Czech style Pilsner. Getting 4 different Pilsners is a bit of a push. How you change different factors about it to have 4 noticeably different Pilsners, apart from not using Saaz hops maybe or something like that. But yeah, that's an interesting stretch of it. So I'd probably have a quick look at that one after the event. That's what I was going to do. Having got this one in, I was going to do the rest of the unboxing because it includes the one me and Sammy were talking about, the Schlenkerla that arrived this morning alongside this one. Hit like, subscribe and all that. Yes, breweries, and forages. Yeah, superb. I love a bit of that. That'd be interesting, the foraged ingredients there and in a Pilsner. So alongside this one today was that 2.9, was it 2.4% Schlenkerla Grzycki. I know Sammy's got one as well. So at some point, we might try and work out how we're going to do a side-by-side drink along with that from here to down under. Also picked up a very interesting collab with Hive Mind, who are a meadery, but also done a coffee porter, a honey and coffee porter. Had one of their porters last month with a smoked porter in the smoke series for November. If you remember that one. What else did I get? I got, for no apparent reason, a can of Theakston's Barista Porter. I think it was just having done Theakston's yesterday. It was kind of, and I saw it there, and it was like £3. I'm like, it's probably in supermarkets, but I'll give it a go more just to make weight, because I needed to make like a 6 up just to justify the order, really. And I also got another one of the New Bristol 6 stouts of Christmas in. I didn't get all of them. I thought they'd be too similar, so I got a ginger one, which I thought would be different. And my local Wetherspoons, one of my local Wetherspoons, has got a ginger stout on tap, so I might go and try that tomorrow if I can. Also featured, the Polish brewery. I always forget about that. And I can't immediately see it on the thing, so I did put the thing up. Let me have a quick look. I don't think I tagged them in. No, I didn't. There we go. There's the IX and Kala. This is Alla Grzycki, and I just put Grzycki because I'm not sure what the Alla bit was right, but I don't really mention the Polish brewery on there. There's that mad little 330 of Hive Mind. It's called Rave. So that should be good. Kind of breakfast porter. Winter spiced ginger cake. So that will probably go in the winter beers next week, next month, next year, which is one and the same. Made up with that mince pie and a barista stout from Theakston. So an interesting little lineup. Thanks to everybody who liked that, by the way. Didn't get yesterday's or the day before's reviews up, so it just looks like a long lineup from me. And I've got at least 3 other ones that I've never done the reviews for, so I'm going to try and smash them all out overnight, I think. So look out for them. Again, like them, because I don't think Instagram will show them to many people when I schedule it for like 3 o'clock tomorrow morning just to get them all in. But there we go. Right, there we go then. Despite the fact I've got a large number of people in, thank you, by the way, as well. Let me know what you're drinking. If you're watching this after the event, let me know what you're drinking. Let me know what Christmas beers you've got left, or if there's any you'd like me to go and hunt out. Maybe do a side-by-side in the new year of all reduced price Christmas beers, because I'm sure they reduce them eventually to get rid of them. Christmas beers are a funny one. We found this up the brewery, like putting a Christmas pudding out last year, and it lasted till about Easter. We got a festive red. The Christmas beer this year was a chocolate orange stout we called Very Terry, because that can be for any time of the year, to be fair, and I will do a review of that at some point. Saw a lot of chocolate orange stouts about before Christmas, but none at the time I was doing orders. So I didn't actually pick any up. I nearly had one from Tartarus yesterday. It was 10%. I'm like, I don't actually need to do that necessarily, so I left it. Maybe I'll do that again at the beginning of the year. But I think what will be now, I guess, the last 2025 live stream show from Just Disco Beer Reviews from me, Disco, here at the Disco Arms. Massive thanks. I'm not doing Beer of the Year, mainly because I run out of time. I might do something later in the week, but yeah, don't do Beer of the Year anymore because I haven't drunk all the beers I got in for the year, and I've missed so many, and they're all as good as each other, to be fair. I'm skewed by working at a brewery, so most of my beers were my beers of the year. The pumpkin Hefeweizen was probably the Beer of the Year for me, because it's still tasting exceptionally good. Cut pints the other day after work. It's just nice, bouncing off the actual pumpkin flavor. No spices, just pumpkin spice. But again, done for Halloween, but lasting up till Christmas, and absolutely fabulous pint that possibly might be my beer of the year, except I'm heavily biased because it's just a lot of beers you get one of, even as a beer reviewer. Some beers I have gone back and gone, I'll get a 6-pack, but there's so many other beers to try. I just haven't got the time. I'll tell you what else I haven't got. There's the breathing capacity. Yeah, and it's for the same reason I probably won't do a brew of the year, because it'll probably be mine, because I've generally enjoyed being there this year, and all the beers, most of the beers that we put out has been fantastic. So I'm heavily skewed. So I won't be doing a brewery of the year like we used to. I think last year, as I said yesterday, I do a beer review of the year or YouTuber of the year. But again, it'll probably be Slurpy Dave this year because I've seen most of his stuff. In fact, I've seen all of everything he's put out pretty much, I think, and probably the most of anybody. So I'm not doing beer review of the year. I may do a little roundup, but I've run out of time. So yeah, very nearly 2026. So yeah, happy New Year if I don't see you all before. I'll be around. I'll be around in the thing. So yeah, I might join, finish off these ones maybe. I'll probably. Yeah, I've got to go work tomorrow, so I can't get absolutely hammered, but I can carry on drinking a little bit. I'll pop in. Yeah, Mr. Wilson. Obviously, I don't do a subscriber of the year, but Mr. Wilson's fairly near the top, just for reminding me each time to do the can balance and the banner and the photograph and stuff like that is very, very helpful in the channel, because I'm a thickoid and I forget shit really easily. So thanks, Mr. Wilson. So yeah, cheers everybody. Have a great New Year's, whatever you do, and enjoy the beers. And yeah, see you on the other side, or next year. Next week, next month, next year. I've got a load of stuff lined up for January. Not doing dry January. Definitely very wet January. So yeah, have a great one all. Thanks as always for all the likes, subscribes, and definitely all the comments, all the chats, and all the good information as well. If you're watching this after the event, please let me know, because I'm not sure anybody does. Do drop a comment, do drop a like, and subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, have an absolutely fantastic New Year. I'm filling now because I'm trying to find a video file for the outro, even though everybody's already left. But yeah, thanks very much indeed. Have a fabulous 2025 here on the channel, and have a great New Year's and a fabulous 2026. And we'll see you again soon. Cheers. And as always, enjoy the beers.